Welcome to Season 3 of the Fishwrapper podcast. Our goal is to bring you story content to inspire, encourage, and uplift your soul. It's our hope you find these stories refreshing, thought-provoking, and motivating as you face the challenges of everyday life. So turn us up and tune your ears, and let's get started by jumping right into the story.
Summertime Adventure by Ken Ralston. Read by Matthew. It was the summer between my freshman and sophomore years in high school. And for the wise guys among you, there was only one summer between those years. That's obviously why youngsters fail grades though. That way they get more summers. Anyway, we decided we were going camping, our favorite pastime, where Oak Creek meets the Verde River. My cousins, Terry, Gary, and Jim were my comrades on this particular trip. All were older than me. Keep this in mind as I tell you this hair-raising tale, as all the stupidity associated with said tale should be applied to the older people involved, not me. I was little more than a babe in arms. Jim, on the other hand, was in college, and I am sure that he was, and probably still is, IQ-wise, a genius. He later went to work for Motorola Semiconductors, back when microprocessors were first being developed. I tell you, that guy was smart. Just plain smart. However, as is often the case with smart people, for all of his book-learning smarts, he had not a lick of common sense. Now, common sense is a rather ambiguous, user-defined term generally used to alienate and degrade those who do not share your opinion. President Clinton, for example, referred to common sense gun control measures, which to me is an oxymoron. I can't see the common sense in upsetting a bunch of people who own guns. However, if you have ever wondered what exactly common sense actually is, well, let's just say all you need to do is spend some time with someone who has none, and then you'll understand perfectly. Such was the case with Jim. It was a beautiful August day with a few harmless-looking puffy white clouds gracing the skyline as we left Prescott in the old Ford pickup truck loaded with all of our camping gear, fishing poles, guns, etc. I don't remember the year of the truck, but it was the kind with the starter pedal on the floor and running boards under the doors to make it easy to step into the pickup. The truck actually belonged to Terry's dad, whom I fondly knew as Uncle M, the hardest working man I have ever met. He owned the Borden's plant in Prescott, or I should say it owned him. And when you're in the milk delivery business, you go to work before dawn and quit after dusk 6 days a week minimum. He'd just had this vehicle overhauled. As boys, we figured this must have cost a few $100,000 with all the fuss that was made over this new engine and all the begging it required to get permission to take it.
Now you boys take it easy on that truck because it's got a brand new engine in it and be careful,
we were told.
Oh, we will. We'll treat it like a newborn baby.
After all, what could go wrong anyway? I've since discovered that teenagers just don't think the same as regular people. So, baby that truck we did, out of Prescott, past Granite Dells, the best swimming hole Arizona ever had, up over Mingus Mountain by the lodge at Potato Patch, it has since burnt down, and down the stretch of Highway 85A that runs through Jerome to Clarkdale. You could say it gives new meaning to the term winding, and if you're riding shotgun, the window seat on the passenger side, you could easily lose your cookies just looking down the sheer cliffs that loom only a few feet from the door. It's been said that there are spots along that stretch of road where the cliffs are so steep and the drop is so far that if you did go over, you wouldn't have to worry about the crash at the bottom because you would have died of old age long before you hit. Keep in mind, I didn't say that. After all, this is a true story.
We hope you've been enjoying the story. We will continue in just a moment, but first we pause to bring you the sponsor for this episode. If your business isn't using key marketing tools, you could be missing out on valuable opportunities to grow. That's where Little Mountain Printing comes in. They offer powerful marketing solutions like postcard mailers, brochures to showcase your products or services, websites to attract new customers, and promotional products to show your appreciation to clients. With the right marketing in place, your business has the best chance to thrive. Get started today by calling Little Mountain Printing at 717-933-8091 or just visit them online at littlemountainprinting.com. Now let's return and finish the story.
So, on through Cottonwood to the right that takes one to Cornville we headed, until we found a likely dirt road that might take us to the junction of Oak Creek and the Verde River. As I remember, we had to try a couple of different roads as none of us have actually been there before. But find it we did, and the fun began. We swam, we fished, we threw rocks in the water, we shot the 22s. We had about as much fun as four boys legally can. In my memory, that afternoon was one of those rare, precious, and pure, timeless experiences you just wish you could somehow go back to and stay there forever. I call those experiences pure time. This particular camping trip and other experiences have since taught me that pure time is often preceded by or followed by pure disaster. The harmless, fluffy white clouds had been consumed by monstrous black cumulonimbus clouds that loomed ominously to the immediate north. That would be uphill from us. Now, to this point, there was but one problem in our thinking. Namely, we hadn't done any. Presently, however, not being completely without wits, we decided to get ourselves out of there while we still could. As the sun was setting, we loaded everything back into the pickup, piled in, and began our dash for the main road only a few miles away. Unknown to us, the dark monster already had designs on our destiny as he began to release huge drops that spread out like dollar-sized pancakes on the windshield, intermixed with little balls of hail. There were two great realizations at this point. First, a brand new engine has absolutely nothing to do with the efficacy of vacuum-type windshield wipers. Those things were practically useless. It might as well have been pancake batter on the windshield for all the good they were. Second, we had crossed a number of those infamous little, normally dry creek beds during our truckin' earlier that day. Now, we were all Arizona boys, so we knew the potential flash flood danger. That's why we were in such a hurry to get back to the main road. One after another, we crossed those little, normally dry creek beds, as luck was with us, and they were indeed still dry, until we came to the last one, which was but a stone's throw from the main road. It had a little water flowing in it. By now it was dark, and our lights shone on the chocolate water flowing in this little normally dry creek. It wasn't raging. In fact, it seemed almost gentle. Pulled off the road beside us was an intelligent-looking couple sitting there waiting. They looked at us with a look that seemed to say, "You aren't really stupid enough to try crossing that, are you?" I don't remember whose idea it actually was to cross. Probably Jim's. It certainly wasn't the youngest. In we went, and voila, another great realization. Water can easily be deeper than it looks. The truck died just as we hit the middle of this little 20-foot wide stream. Furthermore, the truck formed something of a dam as the water was just deep enough to come over the running board on the passenger side. As a result, the water instantly rose until it almost came in the window on that side. Terry, who was the driver and the first to perceive the implications of our recent action, bailed out on his side, the downstream side, which was still only knee-deep or so. Jim, the genius, who was next to him, slid over and began to try to start the truck. As I felt the truck slowly begin to slip downstream, I jumped over Jim, out of the truck the way Terry had gone. As I began hastily making my way toward the back of the truck, I noticed a little 3-foot-high waterfall to my right, only a few feet away. The truck was sliding toward it. I barely made it between the bed of the truck and the bank of the creek as the truck slipped by. To this day, I don't know exactly how Jim and Gary made it out, but I suspect they must have jumped up into the back of the truck in order to avert the creek bank. And from the bank, we watched as the truck went over the little 3-foot waterfall onto its side, lights still on as it floated away into the darkness. We turned toward the intelligent people in the waiting car who had kindly turned on their lights so we could see. They had a new look on their faces that seemed to say, "You really are that stupid." We decided to wait with them as the water subsided. I doubt that it was more than an hour until the normally dry creek bed was all but dry again. It was almost as if the whole incident had been constructed solely to teach us a little patience. If only we had waited. The couple gave us a ride to Cottonwood, where we called home with the grim news of the truck's demise, not to mention all the camping stuff in the back. For some strange reason, our folks came and got us even though our stupidity had given them every right to disown us. Oddly, they gave us just a little lecture for losing the truck, but a lot of love for just being okay. We found the truck half buried in sand and silt a mile or two down that normally dry creek bed the next day. We even found a couple of the guns, some articles of clothing, and various other things, but mostly, you could say it was a total loss except for what we learned. In the 37 years since that summer, I have encountered many normally dry creek beds with gently flowing chocolate water. I've always let the water subside before crossing. The end.
Thank you for listening to this Fishwrapper story. We hope you enjoyed it and will join us again soon when we unravel another adventure from the pages of the Fishwrapper. We encourage you to like and subscribe to this podcast, ensuring that you never miss a new episode. And feel free to drop us a comment, as we'd love to hear from you. See you again soon, and may our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ guide you.